Hi there guys, and welcome to another video on the top 10 list. And today's video we're going to be showing you 10 of the strangest animals on this planet right now. So let's start at number 10 on our list with the pink fairy armadillo. The pink fairy armadillo is the smallest species of armadillo and is recognised by a bony armour shell. This desert adapted animal is endemic to central Argentina and can be found inhabiting sandy plains, dunes and scrubby grasslands. The pink fairy armadillos have small eyes, silky yellowish-white fur and a flexible dorsal shell that is solely attached to its body by a thin dorsal membrane. The conservation status for the pink fairy armadillo is still uncertain, and it is listed as data deficient by the Red List of Threatened Species. The main source of food consists of ants and larvae that it finds underground. While those are its primary sources of food, the armadillos are also known to eat worms, snails and other insects as well. And if insects and invertebrates can't be found, then plant leaves and roots make a good secondary dietary option for their underground lifestyle. The pink fairy armadillo is approximately 90 to 115 millimeters long. That's about 3 to 4 inches. And they typically weigh about 120 grams. It's also known as the smallest living armadillo on the planet. Next up we have the aye-aye. The aye-aye is a lemur, native to Madagascar. It's the world's largest nocturnal primate, and it is characterised by its unusual method of finding food. It taps on trees to find grubs, and then it gnaws holes into the wood using its forward slanting incisors to create a small hole, and then it inserts its narrow middle finger to pull the grubs out. The only other animal known to find food in this way is the striped possum. It's a nocturnal and an arboreal animal, meaning that it spends most of its time high up in the trees. Although they are known to come down to the ground on occasion, aye-ayes sleep, eat, travel and mate in the trees, and are most commonly found close to the canopy where there is plenty of cover from the dense foliage. They are solitary animals that mark their large home range with scent. They commonly eat seeds, fruits, nectar and fungi, but also insect larvae, classifying them as an omnivore. They live primarily on the east coast of Madagascar, and its natural habitat is rainforest or deciduous forest, but many live in cultivated areas due to deforestation. They sleep during the day in nests built in the forks of the trees. Next up guys, we have the very cute Dumbo octopus, also known as the Grimpotheuthis. This is a type of octopus that lives in the very deepest parts of the sea. It has prominent ear-like fins that protrude from the mantle just above their lateral eyes. There are a few different species of Dumbo octopus. Some are short, squat and yellow, while others resemble a jellyfish with one big brown walking shoe. Some species are short, squat and yellow, while others resemble a jellyfish with one big brown walking shoe. Some of them have suckers in addition to their spines on all 8 webbed arms, while others look just like a regular octopus. They are commonly nicknamed Dumbo octopuses or Dumbo octopods in reference to how the ear-like fins look very similar to Walt Disney's flying elephant Dumbo. And there are at least 13 to 14 recognised species across the planet. As they live at the bottom of the sea, they have a very limited food supply. They tend to eat bivalves, worms and crustaceans. The average lifespan is approximately 3 to 5 years. They have been found worldwide in the waters of New Zealand, Australia, Philippines, Oregon, Papua New Guinea and Martha's Vineyard, of all places. Next up is the rather ugly looking naked mole rat. The naked mole rat is also known as a sandpuppy or a desert mole rat, and it's a burrowing rodent native to parts of East Africa. It has a highly unusual set of physical traits that enable it to thrive in an otherwise harsh underground environment. The naked mole rat grows to approximately 8 to 10 centimeters long and weighs approximately 30 to 35 grams. They have large protruding teeth that are used to dig, and their lips are sealed just behind the tooth, preventing soil from filling their mouths whilst digging. They have very little hair, hence the common name, and they have a wrinkled pink or yellowish skin. Finally, they have a very high resistance to cancer, In fact, cancer has never actually been observed in them. Scientists are still trying to work out why it is that they are pretty much cancer-proof, and hopefully the minute they do, it will be a breakthrough for all of mankind. Next up, we have the Irrawaddy dolphin. The Irrawaddy dolphin is a species of oceanic dolphin which is found in discontinuous subpopulations near seacoasts and in estuaries and rivers in the Bay of Bengal and Southeast Asia. The Irrawaddy dolphin is similar to the beluga in appearance, though most closely related to the killer whale. These dolphins are very shy of boats and are not known to bow ride and generally dive when alarmed. They are more susceptible to human conflict than most other dolphins who live further out in the ocean. Drowning in gill nets is the main threat to them throughout their range. In several Asian countries, these Irrawaddy dolphins have been captured and trained to perform in public aquariums. Their charismatic appearance and unique behaviours, including spitting water, spy hopping and fluke slapping, make them very popular for shows in dolphinariums. The commercial motivation for using this dolphin species is very high because it can live in freshwater tanks and the high cost of marine aquarium systems is avoided. The next animal that we're going to look at is the dugong. The dugong is a medium-sized marine animal. Its closest modern relative, the sea cow, was hunted to extinction in the 18th century. Australia is home to the largest populations of dugong, stretching from Shark Bay to Western Australia. The population of Shark Bay is thought to be stable with over 10,000 dugongs. Smaller populations exist up the coast, including one in Ashmore Reef. It has been confirmed that dugongs once inhabited the water of the Mediterranean, possibly until after the rise of civilizations along the inland sea. They have historically provided easy targets for hunters who killed them for their meat, oil, skin and bones. And they are often considered to be the initial inspiration for mermaids, and people across the world developed cultures around dugong hunting. Numbers of dugong have decreased in recent times. For a population to remain stable, 95% of adults must survive the span of 1 year. The estimated percentage of females humans can kill without depleting the population is 1 to 2%. At number 7 on our list is the rather ugly and disturbing looking lamprey. The lamprey is also sometimes called the lamprey eel, and it is a jawless fish. It may be characterized by a toothed, funnel-like sucking mouth. There are currently about 38 known species of lampreys, and although they are well known for boring into the flesh of other fish to suck their blood, in fact only a minority of them actually do. They are very similar to eels in their appearance, and they have no scales at all whatsoever. They range in size from 13 centimetres all the way up to 100 centimetres. That's 5 inches to 40 inches. The adult lampreys spawn in rivers and then they die. The young larvae spend several years in the rivers where they live burrowed in fine sediment. Perhaps the weirdest fact for lampreys is that they have been used for food for humans. They were highly appreciated by the ancient Romans, and in the Middle Ages they were widely eaten by the upper classes throughout Europe, especially during fasting periods. An interesting fact for you is that King Henry I of England is said to have died from eating too many lampreys. Next up we have the rather unusual looking star-nosed mole. Now, as you can see by the picture, the star-nosed mole has got to be one of the weirdest animals on this planet. It's found in wet, low areas of eastern Canada and the northeastern United States, with records extending along the Atlantic coast as far as extreme southeastern Georgia. The star-nosed mole is easily identified by the 22 pink fleshy appendages ringing its snout, which is used as a touch organ, with more than 25,000 minute sensory receptors. The star-nosed mole is covered in thick, blackish-brown water-repellent fur and has large scaled feet and a long, thick tail, which appears to function as a fat storage reserve for the spring breeding season. Adults are approximately 15 to 20 centimetres long, that's 6 to 8 inches, and they weigh about 55 grams. They also have 44 teeth. But I think what most people are interested in is the mole's most distinctive feature, which is a circle of 22 mobile pink fleshy tentacles called rays at the end of its snout. These are used to identify food by touch, such as worms, insects and crustaceans. Next up on our list is the Sunda colugo, also known as the Sunda flying lemur. Until recently it was thought to be one of only 2 species of flying lemur, the other being the Philippine flying lemur, which is found only in the Philippines. The Sunda flying lemur is not actually a lemur, and it does not fly. Instead, it glides as it leaps among the trees. Finally, on our top 10 list today, we have the bizarre looking Yeti crab. The Yeti crab, or the Kiwa hirsuta as it is more properly named, is a crustacean discovered in 2005 in the South Pacific Ocean. This decapod, which is approximately 15 centimeters long, is notable for the quantity of silky blonde setae resembling fur covering its legs and claws. The Kiwa hirsuta, as it's properly known, is a crustacean discovered in 2005 in the South Pacific Ocean. Its main characteristics that you would notice is the quantity of silky blonde fur covering its legs and claws. Its discoverers dubbed it the Yeti lobster, or the Yeti crab. Although it's referred to as the furry lobster, Kiwa hirsuta is a squat lobster, more closely related to crabs and hermit crabs than true lobsters. So there you go, 10 of the weirdest animals living on this planet right now. If you like this video, please do click on our button below and subscribe to the top 10 lists. That's all for now. Goodbye!